I am for sure windbound here.
The past 5 days on the Keele have been an amazing ride, navigating braided channels, exploring ancient Dene campsites, and finding moments of peace fishing crystal clear tributaries. But the Mackenzie River looms ahead. Strong winds can create huge whitecaps and pin paddlers down for days. And I hope that the need to stop early on day 10 due to wind isn't a foreshadowing of things to come on the Mackenzie. In the north, it's not time that should dictate your travel. It's safety and the weather, a reminder that even the best plans are subject to nature's whims. This adventure isn't over yet. I've still got miles to go and challenges to face, because I'm about to see what the Mackenzie River has in store for me. And I promise, the story is far from finished.
Day 11. We are on the water. Oh, and it always feels so good. It's always a lot of work to like pack camp and organize stuff and bungle and load the canoe. And as soon as you get on the water, you're like, oh yeah, this is amazing. That's all worth it. The Mackenzie River gets closer with each paddle stroke. See on a topographic map, these topographic lines represent relief. In this map, each one's probably 20 meters. So that cliff we're looking at here is represented by all these lines along the side of the river. So I'm going to be paddling right past that. Well, here comes the rain. This Columbia Out Dry PFG rain jacket has little neoprene cuffs. So when you're paddling, other rain jackets, water always gets in like that and just soaks your sleeve. But this helps keep it out. I like it. Cool. Well, I am just about to paddle onto the Mackenzie River. This is a narrow part of the Mackenzie, and that bluff is the opposite bank. So this is the confluence. I did it. I paddled the Natla and Keele Rivers.
The Mackenzie River is Canada's longest and largest, stretching over 4,200 kilometers from Great Slave Lake all the way to the Arctic Ocean. It's a vital artery for the north, a wild and powerful waterway carved by time and ice. In the Dene language, the river is called De Cho, which means the Big River, a fitting name for this immense and powerful waterway. In English, the river bears the name of Sir Alexander Mackenzie, who first navigated these waters in 1789, seeking a route to the Pacific. But long before explorers arrived, this was the homeland of the Dene and other indigenous people, a place of deep cultural and spiritual importance, where communities have depended on its waters for thousands of years. It's more than a river, it's the heartbeat of the North, a symbol of resilience and tradition.
Well, maybe we'll get all the rain out of the way today, and tomorrow won't be so bad, because it definitely was not supposed to rain this much. I got the weather report. I was, 50 kilometers up to Keele, but it should be similar here. There's a marker up there for the barges to show them that caution. If there's a big bend that they're on, and not to blow it and crash into the bank. Blue sky. Forgot what that looked like. No wind. Oh my God. That is magical in and of itself. Right there is where Big Smith Creek comes back in. So I just paddled past a large island. A couple islands actually, there's a channel in between. Big bend in the river here to go around. Then we have another bend and some islands. Then a bit of a straightaway, and around there is where I'll make camp. Means that I'll have gone 45 clicks today. I see a cabin. Maybe I will go and stay in it. Looks like it's in half decent repair. Total bushwhack to get to it. Nice to have a place to dry out some stuff after that heavy rain. But like, it's like a ripping bushwhack to get up to the cabin. Like, it might be easier just to set up my tent. I'm gonna check it out though. Looks pretty ramshackle. I don't know. It's like a bear or something. Animals have gotten into here and just trashed the place. Well, that was terrifying. I think that's a definite no-go. There's like holes in the roof, and it looks like animals have gotten in there and just trashed the place. Like mice have just ripped everything up. So yeah, not ideal. So the cabin was a hard pass. Another island coming up here, and almost dry channel. Maybe I can slip through on the right, but island's got a bit of a bluff, so I'm thinking that might be a pretty good wind block for me for camping, a little warmer. Nice. This is home for the night. Completely out of the wind, and just enough flat space for my tent. You'd never guess that today was as miserable as it was now. I got to this spot, which was blocked by the wind, but then the wind just died and the sun came out, and it's absolutely freaking gorgeous out right now. I mean, it's not exactly piping hot, but it's just the perfect temperature. I'm dealing with the really murky water situation again, plus I just don't really want to cook anything. I got a long way to paddle tomorrow. I'm not really that hungry because I've packed a lot of calories for lunch, and then I end up kind of like hammering the last little bit of lunch before getting to camp or while here, and I'm not too hungry. So what I am going to eat is a block of cheese. Yes, you're allowed to just eat blocks of cheese. And I kind of forgot I had this. A hunk of pemmican, which is actually really filling. I'll probably save some for lunch tomorrow, but this is what remains of a large batch of my homemade pemmican, which is rendered animal fat, dried pulverized berries, and dried pulverized meat. This is a tortilla-less cheese quesadilla. I'm gonna meal this up a little more. Let's get crazy. All right, well, I'm gonna turn in. It's quite early for me anyways, but let's see what time it is. 8:30. Well, tomorrow is another day. I'm looking forward to seeing what adventures it may or may not hold. Night night, everyone. on creamer. The Hudson Bay post is some 30 kilometers away. Oh man, poor bushcrafting skills. Hopefully I have time to stop in Toledo and go to the northern store briefly and get more creamer. And basically I'm just going to be beast paddling all day. Hopefully there's enough sun that I can actually charge some batteries, or else today will probably be the last day of the trip. It'll just cut to black. There'll be no like end sequence, but it looks like we are going to get some sun today. I'm going to finish up this oatmeal and coffee and pack up and give her. I'm going to try to make it a solid 40 clicks today. It's probably going to be more challenging than yesterday. This is beautiful here, the Mackenzie River. It's huge. It's massive. There's big long views across water. It doesn't have the giant mountains and that kind of abrupt beauty, but it's still really cool to camp out on and to travel on. On the water, day 12. Beautiful weather. Hopefully we get some smooth sailing with no wind. 25 kilometers to Toledo. Oh, we're doing okay. On a big bend in the river here. And I can see Bear Rock. I'm pretty sure that's Bear Rock in the distance. And Bear Rock is where Toledo is. So probably like another, I don't know, 17, 18K. Just passing a big clump of snow. Could be ice too. When the Mackenzie River breaks up, the ice pushes into big piles. About 10 more K to Toledo. I've paddled about 15 today. So a long way to go to hit my 50K today though. Stretches that are straight without bends, the wind's going the right direction. It has a long time to build. I can see straight to the next bend right now. Solid 25 kilometers. Much safer here if I needed to take out and pull up, even camp here. Well, I looked up and I saw the signs of civilization, a dock and some sort of platform and a boat. And then I looked back and I saw a massive barge rig. Guys, I'm not kidding when I say enormous barges come from the closest road in Hay River and travel the entire Mackenzie out onto the Beaufort Sea. Well, this looks like a place to pull up and walk into town. So I'm gonna do that. It is pushing 5, so I've been beast paddling for 8 hours to do I've probably done about 28K. You know, I've never stopped in a community to resupply while I've been on a canoe expedition before, except for once when we did the Nahanni. We stopped in Nahanni Butte. Well, there are the old Hudson Bay Company buildings, and there is the northern. There it is. Just grab a thing of water. Oh, maybe not. See the clear water of the Great Bear River pouring into the Mackenzie right there. Well, there is the frame of a moose hide boat. The mountain Dene would travel on foot up into the mountains. They'd build one of these, cover it in moose hide, and come back down the river. Okay, pit stop in Toledo. Picked up some essentials. And I am back on the water. I also was told that the stretch I went along those cliffs is always bad and windy. So I guess that was nothing special. Just paddling past the barge here. Apparently it's the first time they could get a barge in 2 years here in Toledo, because the water levels have been so low in the Mackenzie, but this year there's lots of water. Well, here it is, the Great Bear River. Absolutely gorgeous, crystal clear blue water going up this river to Great Bear Lake and then crossing it and portaging into the barren lands. That'll have to be a trip for another time. Maybe when my son Huddy's a little older, but pretty cool. Too bad I don't have any drone batteries left, or else it would be cool to film the waters mixing. I don't think I'm gonna push on and try to do another 20K today. It's just too dangerous. It's gonna be enough of a battle just around this point here, try to find a flat spot to camp. Well, there is Bear Rock. I'm gonna camp. This would be a good spot. Yeah, I probably should just call it quits. I've probably done about 33 clicks today. Oh man. Oh, that was a mission. This is where all the bugs are getting in and torturing me at night. Courtesy of the Northern Store. Bon appetit. Chunky soup, chicken with rice. Enjoyed with some of the best water on planet Earth. Great Bear River. And I'm just looking at wolf prints all over. We got a bunch of wolf pup prints, even muskox prints, some beaver prints, and bumblebees all over the place, just going after all the little flowers on the ground. And it got warm out because the sky cleared up, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, this is awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna turn in and go to bed, but yeah, I think, you know, I haven't really resupplied on a trip like that, so definitely an advanced bushcraft maneuver, resupplying with creamer. And it's just a neat thing, even though it's such a short period of time. One of the things that I love about the North is the people and spending a little bit of time in the communities. It's always one of the highlights for me, so that was awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna try to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. Hopefully get a good 6-7 hours sleep and try to get a jump on the wind, which seems to pick up like late morning. So I'm gonna need my sleep tonight. I duct taped that hole where the bugs were getting in, so that should help. Anyways, nighty night. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have my work cut out for me today. Starting to think maybe I should have just like taken a nap and gotten some clicks last night when the wind had totally died around like 9:30. The wind is like worse today for sure. I woke up this morning at about 4 a.m. to the sound of waves crashing on the beach and the tent shaking with wind. So that's not good. However, it's supposed to clear up. Like we're supposed to get a mix of sun and clouds starting around 9 or 10, in between 9 and 10. So maybe that will come with less wind, I don't know. And just this kind of system will pass through. But yeah, it's not looking great right now. I mean, there's some pretty big waves crashing on the beach, and it looks like it's gotten worse. Like, I am for sure windbound here, so I just definitely shouldn't be going anywhere right now. Like, there's crazy big waves out there. So anyways, I want to take some water. I can still see the beautiful clear water of the Baird River, even though I'm almost 5 kilometers away from it. It hasn't fully mixed, but right into the shore where the waves are breaking, the water is really muddy and sandy. So I might go for a walk with my bucket down around the next bend and see if I can take water where the waves aren't kicking up all the silt and all that, and just let that sit. Oh, what do we have here? Well, it was worth doing a little exploring, as we have ourselves a nice clear creek. Now the hard part, walking back about 1 kilometer with a full bucket of water. And that looks like muskox poop to me. Well, here's something pretty cool. They drive transport trucks on this in the winter time. This is what you have for a road here. It's only navigable in the winter. Sections of it go along the frozen Mackenzie River and, you know, over lakes and through muskeg and stuff that you can't even, like, you couldn't even travel it a significant distance by ATV in the summer. The majority of stuff needs to come in by barge. A lot of stuff is too big even to bring on the winter road, so you can see why stuff is so expensive here. Over my dead body, McDougal! Oh, it was a dream. Oh, thank God. Not bad. Well, good news. It is way better here, and looking way down there, it's not nearly as bad as it was about an hour ago. So I'm not in a massive rush to get out of here. I'll probably be paddling till like 1 in the morning. It's about 6:45, and I'm gonna pack up and head out, start giving her. Holy crap, I'm on my last map. They're 1 to 250, so it's still a ways to go. Wow, Bear Mountain is so cool. Just passing a beautiful creek, rushing into the Mackenzie off of Bear Mountain, and I felt a little something on the back of my neck, and I think it's wind. like I have a bit of a tailwind. I paddled around the corner to where the waves were really big, and I got a few gusts and I was worried it was going to be bad, and then it kind of died, and then I started feeling a titch of a tailwind. So that's nice. I mean, as long as it doesn't get too big. Looks like a wolf den or something. I am moving at a pretty good clip here. It seems like the current in the river picked up a bit and the wind has died down, so that's pretty awesome. If it keeps up like this, I think I'm going to be able to bang off 40 tonight. We'll see. Just checking my GPS here, and I left at around 7. I don't know, between 7 and 7:30 anyways. It is 10:18 and I've done 21.3 kilometers roughly. So that means it would be about 1 a.m. if I banged off 40. So maybe I'll just go bang off another 20, not sleep, and then, you know, just give her again. I don't know. Such a dream to paddle on compared to my 2 other days paddling on the Mackenzie, like hammering rain and wind and then just blasting headwinds and waves. This is just like a whole other world. So it is 11:45. Absolutely beautiful lighting out right now. I'm starting to get pretty exhausted. So I'm just checking the distance I've made on my GPS. 31.3 kilometers. I'll still have like between 30 and 40 to do tomorrow. I'll paddle another 5K and then I'll just pick the first spot I find after that. Well, the sun is officially down. It just got quite a bit colder. And it's pushing 1, so I think I'm gonna call it. That's where I came from today. Well, it is the morning of day 14. Slept like an absolute baby, and I don't hear any wind. The water downriver from the Great Bear River is a little clearer, and there's a couple creeks that pour into the river here that are clear, so I thought maybe there'd be a fish. I saw one jumping. Oh, there's a bite. This is day 14, and it's kind of awesome. Like, if you think about it, I've traveled, by the end of the day today, if all goes well, I will have traveled 575 kilometers. I didn't pass one bridge. I didn't see any roads other than, you know, of course, the small roads within town in Toledo. No, like, real roads. I don't know how many other places in the world there are where you could travel that far and not go under a bridge. I remember I wrote a story on my East Natashquan River trip for Canoe and Kayak, which is an American magazine. I wrote in it like, we paddled under the bridge and we knew the trip was almost done. Well, there's one bridge that crosses that river right at the end. And Canoe and Kayak edited it to say, I passed the last bridge, because there's no way they thought that this was the only bridge on this river. And I was out there for 2 weeks, and I just remember that got published, and I was just like so triggered by it, because like part of the thing is I want people to realize how truly remote these areas are and how special that is. You know, I live on a big patch of bush where at my house, and you could rip across it in a snowmobile in 3 hours. This, you could ride endlessly through the mountains and never see another soul. I mean, it's just enormous swaths of pure wilderness up here in northern Canada and Alaska. And I think it's something really, really special. I think it belongs to us all, to all people that love nature. But I think that knowing that this is here as part of the Canadian identity, even if you never really visit it, which I suggest everybody that you should, I think it's something that's incredibly special that we should protect and that we should keep as wild as possible. And it gets chiseled away at every year. It's easy to think, oh, what's one more road? What's one more this? What's one more that? But then 100 years go by and everything's completely different. Wow. We are on the water for what may be the final day of an epic 575 kilometer long expedition down the Natla, Keele, and part of the Mackenzie River. Nothing like the big Mackenzie Mountains proper that are in there where I just came from, but the Mackenzie River is beautiful, I gotta say. The wind only just started to pick up. It is a headwind, unfortunately. But I'm doing real good here with the weather. And I'm coming up to the last marker. There's like channel markers, kind of like lighthouses, I suppose, but they're just sort of marking the way for barges. And I'm coming up to the last one before Norman Wells. I'm probably about 15K away. And I think I'm just gonna bang it out right now before this wind kicks up too much. Can you believe that? I'm doing it! Oh my goodness, I think I can see some buildings. Maybe I can make it before this headwind picks up. It's not supposed to get bad till mid-afternoon, or probably go 3 or 4 anyways. Coming down the home stretch here. This last 7K hasn't been easy. And these waves and wind, but I can see my takeout. Holy crap. It's about 100 meters away, ladies and germs. Yeah! I'm at the takeout. O'Grady Lake to Norman Wells. Man, that adventure, 575 kilometers, was challenging. This last stretch on the Mackenzie was one of the more challenging parts of it, just due to the distance and the wind. And then the rapids at the beginning of the river were just screaming around every bend, and boulders everywhere. I had to be on my toes. And they just went on and on. It was exhausting at times and scary, but a lot of fun too. From almost swamping, hitting that massive class 3 wave train on the upper stretches of the Natla, to day 1, getting an amazing float plane ride out, dropped off, heading right into this whitewater canyon and catching a massive Dolly Varden trout, running out my spool. Just, I didn't even know they got that big. To just the scenery, like unreal, the wildlife, and of course the remnants of old Dene campsites. Just so fascinating to hear their stories of how they traveled that river by moose skin boat, and pretty special in so many ways. And I gotta say, I can't wait for my next trip here.